I'm glad to be here today. I'm a Owensboro person, and I've been involved, and I know a lot of these groups that you all represent do great things in Owensboro. I raised 7 kids here in Owensboro, and there were times we needed different organizations to help us in different ways, and I just appreciate the way you all step up and do what you do here in the Owensboro area. And if you ever need any help, I've got grown adult kids here now, so I got a list. I can give you names, and they like to be involved in Owensboro also. I am an Owensboro person. I've been here all my life, and I like to serve Owensboro. I graduated from Western in 1982, and I thought I wanted to move away and become a great athletic trainer and work with a great professional baseball team someday. That was kind of my goal. I wanted to do that, and that didn't work out, and I ended up here in Owensboro. I took a job at Lowe's Building Supply selling lumber. So, sometimes, you have to start and end up in places that you don't end up. I had an opportunity to buy Harold's Cleaners, and soon after that, I had a friend ask me if I wanted to join a service organization because I like to talk a lot, he said. I said, that's not the reason to join a service organization. He said, but it's a good time. So he invited me to go to Owensboro Lions Club, and there was just a bunch of good old boys, and we sit around and laughing, and they have a good time. And it's like, that's the kind of organization I want to be involved in. I don't want to be involved with a bunch of stuffed shirts and sit around and do-gooders, and it's like, man, this is such a good thing. So I joined the Owensboro Lions Club, and I learned that Owensboro Lions Club wasn't just a little deal. It's a big thing. The Lions Club International actually has 1.4 million serving lions all over the world. There are 49,000 clubs, just like the one we have here in Owensboro. We're in over 200 countries and regions all over the world. Last year, we did $1.2 billion in grants all over the world. So, you think about the Lions Club, and you see us around town. We've got some different things going on, but we're a much larger organization, and we serve a lot more people than what you would realize, than just what we do here. But we are here in the local community, and you see that the Lions Club, there's actually 3 Lions Clubs in Davis County. We are the Owensboro Lions Club. So you hear about the Davis County Fair, and the Lions Club run the Davis County Fair. Well, that is the Davis County Lions Club. Davis County, and we work together with them, and they work with us. We go out there and do something at their fair. We'll have a booth. I don't know if you've ever been down to the river and seen them with the baseball throw, where the kids throw the baseballs, or the husbands sometimes throw against the wives, or, I never threw against my wife because she could throw harder than I did. I met her playing softball, and she can throw the ball harder than I can, so we never did that. But that's something that we do also, is that baseball pitch. Just, it's a good time. It's a good way to raise money to put back into our community. There's also the Whitesville Lions Club. They have their own group out there. They do a pie auction. Has anybody ever been out to their pie auction? They sell pies for like $1,000. I mean, it's really crazy, but they'll raise $30,000 on their annual pie auction. It's like, if you think about a way to raise money sometimes, who would have thought you could make that kind of money selling pies, in Whitesville? But they do it, and the reason we raise money is because we like to give back to the community. Our vision statement is to be the global leader in our community and humanitarian services. And our mission statement is to empower volunteers to serve their community, meet humanitarian needs, encourage peace, and promote international understanding through Lions Club. I have trouble with those mottos and that kind of stuff. I like the basic thing is, our motto is, we serve. That's what I tell people. I don't tell them about all those fancy worded things, because I'm sure every one of your all's organizations has a service, what you do. But basically, the Lions Club serves. In 1917, there was a guy, his name was Melvin Jones, and he's from New York, and he felt the need to serve people better. And he thought the best way to do it would be to get different businesses together. Instead of working one business trying to do something and one business trying to do something, would be to come together and start a group. And through smaller groups coming together, we could help more people. And soon after, I mean, it just exploded. So Owensboro, it started in June of 1917. Well, Owensboro became a Lions group in 1920. So 3 years after this started in New York City, it was in Owensboro. And got to the big city of Owensboro, Kentucky. We were one of the oldest organizations in the world. It's hard to believe, here in Owensboro, because a gentleman brought it to Owensboro, and it just took off because there's guys like myself. Crystal is a member. She's my secretary right now. And Commissioner Glenn is an Owensboro Lions Club. And we appreciate what Commissioner Glenn does for us through the Lions Club. And it's, like I say, it's just a good group of guys that want to get together and have a good time. And gals. I call guys and gals. You're right. Thank you, Commissioner. And it is open. It's open. They actually have Leo clubs, which are lady clubs, because sometimes ladies like to do little things different than what men like to do. But we work, and we're actually working. We started a group at Kentucky Wesleyan a few years ago. They're called, I can't think what they're called. It's a side group of your group, and it's to get these young kids involved, because what's happening to service organizations. I'm 65 years old, and I'm probably one of the younger guys in the group right now, because that's what's happening to all groups, all organizations, is younger people. They don't have time to get involved. You all deal with it. You deal with it in your organizations. It's hard to get people to get fired up, to get involved, to want to do things. So we struggle. So we're back trying at Kentucky Wesleyan. I think the first time we reached out and got hold of the wrong people. This time we're reaching out to a different group, and we've talked to a couple of the professors and people on board that will have somebody there all the time, where they reached out to some students, and the students graduated, and then there wasn't anybody to continue the process of keeping the group together. So we're hoping to get into Kentucky Wesleyan and get a group started so they can come and help and work with us, and they can see what we do. And then when they graduate from college and they get a job wherever they move to, whenever you drive into cities, do you ever see the Lions Club signs? I mean, we're all over the United States. We're all over the world. So if you get a job, you learn about Lions Club at your university or college. And then when you go, it's like, man, I can get involved with the Lions Club in New York City or Montana or California. There's different places that you can get involved with. And it's a good feeling when you help people. That's why I know a lot of you all have your jobs, because you work and do what you do because you want to help people. And that's what the Lions Club do. One of the main things that we do in the Lions Club, a few years after Melvin Jones was the guy that started the club, Helen Keller got involved with the Lions Club, and she offered them a challenge. She said she challenged them to be knights of the blind in the crusade against darkness. And Melvin Jones really thought that was a good thing to take off and run with. So one of our biggest things that we do is we help people with sight and vision impairments. I don't know how many times you go around town and there's little boxes to put used eyeglasses in. Have you ever seen them? We recycle eyeglasses, and we have people that go to South America, to different countries, and they take these glasses and they've got these it's amazing. I don't know how they do it. They've got this little vision thing, and you can look in it and they can get like 95% close to your vision, and they can give you glasses that work. And I thought that wasn't a big deal until one of the fellows that used to be in our Lions Club used to travel with Dr. Ward, who is an eye doctor here in town. And they would go to South America, and he tells a story and says there was a man that they gave these glasses to, and they were ladies' glasses, but he could see. And his job was he picked coffee beans off of trees. And the only way he could do it, because he couldn't see very good, is he would just be able to feel along and pick the beans. And he came back the next day after he got these glasses, and he said he tripled his income that day because he could see the beans and could pick the beans and could pick them faster. And he was able to provide more for his family because we gave him a pair of women's glasses so he could see, but he didn't care. So you think, oh, I'll just throw these old glasses away. Take them somewhere. I know they're at different banks here in town. We take them at Harold's Cleaners. You can drop your dry cleaning off at Harold's Cleaners, and you can leave your used eyeglasses there. So I sold my business to my daughter, so I got to keep punching the business. So, that's just a small thing of what we do. If we use the help office, and if someone can't afford to buy eyeglasses, we refer them to the help office, and then they work, and we get them hooked up, and we pay for their glasses or pay for if they need eye care. We've sent people to Louisville. In Louisville is the KLEF, which is the Kentucky Lions Eye Foundation, and we have surgeons there, and they do surgeries. We'll give whatever money it takes, $30,000, $50,000 sometimes, to help people that have vision problems. But we send them to Louisville, and they are screened and processed through Louisville and taken care of. And, somebody that maybe didn't think they could ever see, they will be able to see. We're actually helping a lady right now. The new little houses that they're building, the habitat houses, we've got a lady that we helped with her daughter probably 4 or 5 years ago. She needed a Braille computer, and we hooked her up with this Braille computer, and we're able to take care of her. And then we found out that she's trying to build one of these houses out here, and we've stepped up, and we're going to pay the down payment for her house, to start her house. So that's going to be starting pretty soon, and we're excited because we're going to get to go out there and hammer and nail. We're going to get the commissioner. Well, we probably won't. We'll probably just let him watch because he's... You want it done right, you won't do that. Right, you can supervise, Commissioner. But, there's just so many different things that we do that we do all the 4 universities here every year. We give them a $1,000 scholarship to give to their students, Wesleyan, Brescia, WKUO, and OCTC. So we give them money, and after we give the scholarships, we have the kids come to our meetings. And if you ever, I'm going to invite you all. We meet on the first and third Tuesdays of the month at the Windy Hollow Biscuit House, and we meet from 11:30 to 1. Some people have to leave at 1. We have a speaker, and sometimes speakers get long-winded, and I'm not going to do that. So I'm not going to talk very much longer. But we have a speaker come, and I would offer any of you all that would like to push your business. We are always looking for speakers to come to our meetings. So you can get with myself or Crystal or the Commissioner, and we would love to have you come and share what you are doing in our community, because that's what we want to find out. And maybe sometimes we can help. We have someone come and speak with us, and we see a need, and we try to step up and help them in their situation. So give me a card, or give Crystal or Bob a card. We would love to help you. Some of the things that we also do here in Owensboro is Davis County does the fair, and we do the Owensboro Soapbox Derby. That's our big thing. We raise a pretty good bunch of money out there, and if you've never been out to Ben Halls and seen our track that we built, we have probably the 3rd fastest track in the United States. And people come, they do a local race, and if you race in the local race, there's 3 different divisions. There's a stock car and a super stock, and then there's this cool Masters car. It's really neat to watch them. So if you win your age or that bracket, you get to go to Akron and race in the Nationals. Well, they also do a thing, it's called rally racing, where they can, you get points. It's like being on the NASCAR circuit. And at the end of the year, if you race so many races and you get so many points, then you can go also. Well, we've had people come here from New York and Florida, and they bring their cars here because they've heard about the track here in Owensboro. Plus, we've sent our kids here from our local races to Akron, and we're winning national championships out of Owensboro because what we have here in Owensboro. So if you've got kids from 8 to 16 years old, that we have cars. If you have kids that would want to be interested in something like that, get with us and we can set you up. Our race is in May. It's always the second weekend in May. And if your kids are interested, we're looking for drivers right now. We have had companies that have sponsored and their kids have grown out, and they said, just keep the car and you can use it. So if there's somebody in your organization, if you want to sponsor a car through your organization, we could do that and put a kid in it. It's a great time. 4 of my grandkids have already raced. 4 of my kids raced. I think I'm the first person to have kids race and now have grandkids race. My daughter, her daughter raced last year, and she was the first one to have a child. She was the first person that raced in Owensboro that's had a child race in Owensboro. So it's a big time. If you come out and see us, it's the second Saturday in May, and it's a family-oriented thing. It's really a really good time. Besides doing the soapbox derby, I mentioned we do the baseball toss. You've seen us do the baseball toss. And we also do the bench advertising around town. You see the benches we advertise those benches. It's a great deal if you want to advertise your company. I was talking with somebody. I think I've got an advertisement on a bench, and it's like $175 a year. And people say, oh, I see your bench all the time. Your bench is even sometimes. It's like, I got one bench. I spend $175 a year to advertise on that bench. So if you want to advertise your agency, you can get with me. I got the guy's name that takes care of that. We actually have, how many benches you think we have around Owensboro? Give me a guess. How many benches you think we have sitting around Owensboro? 100. Anybody else? We have 118, Dave. You win the prize. Get you another banana over there when you get done. Yeah, we have 118 benches in Owensboro, and I think it's a great way to advertise, and it's a good way for us to raise money to help people in need. We also do a pancake breakfast in December. But the good thing I like about the Lions Club is you join, and it's just like anything. At my church, they always say that 20% of the people do 80% of the work. Well, it's not like that in the Lions Club, but that's one thing I liked when I joined the Lions Club was I didn't say, okay, now you've got to do this, and you've got to do this, and you've got to do this. Is we encourage you to come, and once you get involved, it's like, man, I want to help as much as I can. And it's just it's a good feeling. There's good people to work with, and we have a good time all the time. But we have some people that pay their dues and pay and give money because they don't have time, but they have money and they give money. That's the kind of people we like too. So that's okay. If you just want to come and join and give your money, we'll take your money too. But it's really a good thing. I want to make sure I talked about everything. I think I've pretty much covered. There's brochures on the table. If anybody has any questions, we can. That's all I really have. Anybody have a question or? Yes.
I'm curious about the soapbox derby. And you invited people to use your cars. And it's coming up in 2 weeks. Can someone train that fast? Or
yeah, we actually will have open track. on the first Saturday of the month, we have open track, but we're trying to get racers right now. If you'll get with me, we actually have a group of guys that are just volunteers that take care of the Soapbox Derby for us. And so we would meet out there, and you start at the bottom of the hill and we push them across the line. And then we move up the hill a little bit up, and then they just run down. And before the day's over with, they're racing from the top of the hill. Those cars actually run, the stock cars, we clocked them, they run like 22 to 24 miles an hour. The super stocks run about 28 miles an hour, and the masters hit 30 mile an hour down that trail. They sit still at the top of the track. The thing falls down, and it's called gravity racing. But by the time they get to the end of the track, they're running over 30 mile an hour. So, and we have adult cars, and we have talked about get all the local nonprofits together and meet out there, and it's awesome. I've raced it, and it's really cool going down the hill. And so, if you've got somebody, let me know, and we can make it happen. It's not a big deal. I mean, I had one of my grandchildren that came in town, and we knew they were going to be in town, and they got in town, and they went out there and ran down the hill a couple of times, and they raced the next day.
So the skill is steering.
Basically, all you're going to do is, you hold it straight and go straight down the track. The person that can hold it, if you steer it like this down the track, you lose a quarter of a second. That's how close they are when they race. So,
does the size of the driver matter? If you've got more mass, or
the cars are each weighed in before, and if you got a driver that weighs 67 pounds, the stock car has to weigh 200 pounds. So you have to balance the weight. You can't put all the weight in the back because that pushes it down the track faster. It has to be balanced, and we weigh each car, and each car has to weigh 200 pounds. So if you got a 67-pound driver or a 100-pound driver, 30 pounds, if you were racing, that would make a difference. But the cars are weighed, and it's all about the skill of the driving. And I don't want to tell everybody this, guys, but we found out that the little girls drive better than the boys do. That's scary. I'm sorry, guys. I had to say that. Any other questions? If not, I thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Come see us.